It's on the 24th.
Right, so this is the reason it goes out now is because this is like in advance to lock in the prices now, so you won't have to vote on it again. You vote on it now, and then
Okay.
whatever the prices are, we lock it in at that particular point.
Any other questions?
No.
Our next item is the 2025 Homestead Farmstead annual mailing to be completed by Burke 1 for both Monroe and Pike counties. Recommendation to select option A, with Monroe County being 0.4510 per and Pike County 0.4204 per for both countings, a cost of approximately $8,000.
What is this for?
This is for the homestead farmstead applications.
We do it every year.
Yeah, every year this goes out. Last year, option A was 40.4379 cents per mailing. So the price did go up some, but this is for the
This is for the mailing, right?
yeah, this is so option A provides the return postage.
Yeah.
So it's easier for the residents to mail the application back to the county for processing, for both counties for processing. I figured that was the easiest way so that the county residents, those who are may be less fortunate, can just mail it back, all postage paid. And
this
that
is for
way-
a refund for the.
No, this is the homestead farmstead exemption.
Exemption.
So the homestead farmstead exemption, ours was like about 6,000, so the discount on their taxes,
Okay, yeah.
on their property
You
taxes.
only fill it out once though, right? When you first move in, or you do it every year?
It's every so many years. I think it's every, I want to say it's every 2 to 3 years, but the county administers it. So if you get so my message to the residents that would watch it would be, if you get an application from the county or from Burke 1, fill it out and send it in.
Okay, that's-
So if you don't need one and you have it, you don't have to fill it out, but if you get one, fill it out and send it in. Because the county administers that, we don't do that. Burke 1 just does the application part. It says to mail it to the county assessment or the the county office, and the county administers that.
Okay. I always wondered that.
Yeah, the county handles all that because we don't do that, so.
well,
Yeah, you fill out one, well, I think it's once every, I want to say it's once every 5 years. That number sticks in my head. I could ask and find out.
I only filled it out once.
But then you don't ever have to fill it out then. So, I mean,
Must have- Well, that,
Yeah.
just to be sure.
yeah. Well, if it's on your tax bills, look like, see if it's in the tax bill. Yeah. If you need one, you could always go on the county website and get one and pull one down and fill it out, and send it in.
Any other questions?
Nope.
Our next item is a credit from Sharp Energy in the amount of $219,618 for the alternative fuel tax credit.
Yeah, this is our propane that we use to fuel our school buses. It's a lot less than it's been going down every year, but primarily because the tax credit is starting to dissipate at the federal level. This is for, so every time that every gallon of propane that we use comes with a tax credit because it's an alternative fuel. So this money, so the board has to vote to accept the money, and then you guys will accept it. We'll get a check from Sharp Energy, and then we'll just use this to what do I want to say, offset the cost of our propane to power our school buses.
So
this-
we take this money, buy more propane.
Yeah, we'll just take this money and buy more propane, or just offset the expense for the propane. So every year we'll have a tax credit for that.
Is this 50 cents per gas gallon equivalent?
I believe so, yes. I can get the exact number for you. Sharp Energy gave us this number and because they're the ones that tell us what the fuel credit is, and it was part of our contract with them. They
Okay.
monitor it.
They- So then they apply it to the IRS on your behalf? Because I know
Yeah,
I do this for MCTA through the IRS.
yeah, they do it on our behalf, and they get us the money, and then
Okay.
they send us the check. So we can either apply, so there's two options we have. They can either apply for credit and take it off of our bill, or they can send us a check. For our accounting purposes, it's easy for us. It's easier for us to accept a check
Okay,
than it is for us to take a credit off our bills because it can mess up our accounting. So we chose to take a check, and then we'll accept the revenue, and then we'll use it to offset some of the propane expense.
understood.
Our next item is the Lakeshore Furniture at a price of $20,302.71 for a new emotional support classroom. Which building is that going to be in?
I will tell you in a
Because I saw administration on there, but I didn't see a classroom.
tell you in a second. I believe it's at East Stroudsburg Elementary.
Okay, yes, yeah.
Yeah, it's ESC, yes. Yeah, it's
This
at
is similar to
ESC.
the other furniture that we purchased before.
Correct, yeah, this is at ESC. So it's they had an increase in enrollment there, and they need to buy the furniture for an emotional support classroom at ESC.
So we're having 2 classrooms in there or 3 classrooms?
I don't know the total number of classrooms there, but I know this is for a new classroom there. They took this is the middle quote of the three, because Lakeshore provides the exact specification of the furniture that they need to meet the needs of the students that are there. And that's allowable to do.
And this is through access.
I believe, I don't know, I mean, let me check, let me
I
see what
didn't
the.
see
fund-
that. Maybe
Yeah, I'll check the funding.
It's Fund 10.
No, it's we're paying it for out of the general fund then.
General fund. Okay.
Yeah, but no, actually, no, that is, just because it's general fund doesn't mean it's. Let me
Mr.
check
Bard,
for
can you hear
that.
me?
1 second, I'll tell you.
Hi,
Yes,
good
I can
evening.
hear
It's
you.
Brian Baddock. I'm on virtual here. So just to follow up, again, this is a continuation of the furniture replacements that we've been doing the last several years. We just did some new programming, and we're also expanding and replacing some of the other programs that are currently with us right now. So out of the access, and then we do have some furniture that is being purchased out of the general fund.
Mr. Baddock, did you touch on the funding? I believe it says access funding too.
For the most part, the majority of the replacements that we've been doing has been coming out of the access. But because we've added some new programming due to enrollment, some of that is not coming out of access. It will come out of the general fund. You get that?
I did.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, great. Any questions? Anything that I can answer for any member?
No?
No, the only question I have is, once we order this, when do we expect to receive it? What's the lead time?
With arrival and installation, we're looking probably about 3 weeks.
Okay. Number.
That's, there will also, item F also is a purchase of Worthington Direct for furniture at a combined price of $29,678 for 3 special ed classrooms. So the first one is an expansion and the second one is the replacement, it looks like, if I'm not mistaken, correct? Mr.
Yes.
Baddock?
Yes, that's correct.
Any other questions for Mr. Baddock?
No.
No.
All right. Our next item is questions and answers about the snowplow bid.
Correct. So the letter, I distributed a letter at your seats for the snowplow bid. And so when you guys get to item E in number 7, Corey Willis, the snow removal of the district, things. If you could change that to as amended, because Willis Excavation changed or amended his bid to remove the hourly service minimums for the trucks and equipment. So the hourly service minimums in the bid were 3-hour minimums for every time he was called out. So he removed them from the bid. So he will only charge us for the actual time he was called out. And there will still be the prepayment for $5,000 for the north and $5,000 for the south lot, which is $10,000 total. But our average for the last 3 years has been roughly about $22,000 in snow removal. Now, I will caution everybody on that because we've had some pretty mild and tame winters. As you guys have known that we've had some pretty wild winters that start in November and don't end until April. We've had some pretty easygoing ones the last couple of years. So yeah, I know I just jinxed it now, and Wayne jinxed it earlier, so I'm gonna blame it on Wayne Roner. He'll be driving his snowmobile down here. But
That would be nice.
yeah. But that was so everybody on the call knows that Wayne did it before I did it. But in any event, I don't have an issue.
This wasn't, so.
No, thank I'll be wearing my snowmobile.
So in any event, I don't have an issue with the minimum. I think we'll go through it. If in any event that there is even a more milder winter than 20,000, that would carry over to the next year, and we would just account for it in the maintenance office and in my office to account for that. So I don't.
Would you say 5,000 for the north and 5,000 for the south?
Well, that's the 5,000 for the north lot or the north high school. Now he's bidding on the entire district, so he'll go out to all the buildings. So we're going to break out the schools into geographical regions.
So would the north be Resica,
Bushkill,
Middle
Bush
Smithfield,
Hills,
Middle Smithfield.
Lehman, and North.
Right, correct.
That would be the 5,000 for the north.
Yeah, for those 5, I would
And
4 or
then-
5, and then the rest of them would be in
And
the
then the
south.
south would be south and then.
Smithfield,
Smithfield.
J Hill, ESA,
Correct.
ATL.
Yeah, because it doesn't quite say that, that's why.
Correct, and that's how we'll break it out, and I think that makes the most geographic sense, similar to what we would do if we were breaking out like in staffing, putting somebody like a supervisor at north and south type of thing. you know, for responsible for
When
schools.
I said South District and North District, we don't have a South District.
No, I think that's kind of what he meant in that, but
That's why I was.
yeah, we can get clarification on that, but I believe that's how we will handle it in accounting purposes and handle it in that respect.
We're trying to avoid the South and North Districts.
Yeah, no, it'll be in there. I think he just
Yeah,
meant,
but you know what, though, usually someone will bid and say, I'll only do the schools south of here and I won't do north, so at least he's actually doing both.
yeah, he's
So
doing
I
the entire,
understand
yeah,
that.
we're
I
doing the
just- I
entire.
just wanted to see what he meant.
Yeah, and the bid actually, the other bidder only bid it on the north school.
Separate.
Yeah, so,
You did an okay job of, in the first paragraph.
yeah.
Yeah, saying that there's a north and south campus.
Yeah, so in the first paragraph, it did say for the north and south campus. So I believe that it's just, we're gonna tie the north and south campus
But that could
together.
be on the high schools. That's why I'm saying, when you say North
Right.
Campus, it would be the North High School and or North Campus could be
So-
Lehman.
So-
And,
Change that word district to campus.
I will. So what I'll do is,
Or just have them break down the schools, so we know exactly.
yeah, so what I'll do is I'll send him an email, a clarification email and letter on my letterhead that asks, that clarifies what he means, what in the letter here, and just to have a clarification letter. So when you guys vote on it on Monday, that the bid package and the clarification documents are clear so that we know what the north and the south are and what the 5,000s are for the 5 buildings that make up the north, the 5,000 make up the south, and that goes for the 3 years of the contract.
That's fine.
Okay, and also make sure Attorney Brown signs off on it as well, so he knows.
Any other discussion in regards to that?
And that's the only item of discussion.
All right, then we have our recommendations from the properties and facilities. Our first item is High School South Pool Private Block for 31,947.20, and it's paid for by St. Luke's. All good? Okay. High School South Gas Industrial Washer Dryer, also paid for by St. Luke's.
And this is,
Is getting one also.
yeah, and these are specifically for washing uniforms and things like that, or what is the purpose of these washer and dryers?
To wash and dry uniforms,
Perfect.
yes, to go along with the position that was approved a
Right.
couple of months ago.
So how are we doing it this year?
They have just a traditional, like a washer and dryer you would have in your house.
Okay, good. So they're getting more of a
They're
commercial.
getting
size.
used, but it's just that this would better accommodate what we're trying to do, and it's the problem we're having now that these machines aren't gonna hold up, so we're just trying to buy them the better. equipment.
Completely understand it.
These are commercial, yes,
Right.
We have in our
right,
house.
right.
Perfect.
Yes.
Thank you.
Our next item is B, the removal of a relocatable building at Boothville Elementary by Jason Passader, an amount of 7,000, and it's a property facility budget.
Let's give me the building.
Yeah, the outbuilding. And then here's the snow removal that we just spoke about. So we'll do the amended version that we just discussed,
Correct, and I'll make sure those documents are appropriate.
and then we're going to JPL.
But this is another one I want to talk about. I'm sorry, I apologize. We could actually remove this because Daryl had spoken to them. This could go out to, we could do this via a CoStarz project. And we'll talk about this at the PNF committee in November. Daryl has a solution worked out, and then we talk about a PNF
For the auditorium lighting.
for the auditorium lighting. Yes, we worked
Okay.
I worked on it with him. There was one issue with the quote process, and we fixed the quote process, and he'll bring up a PNF, and then that'll be moved forward to us for next month.
Okay, so we'll table that.
Yeah, just table this
Table that
one.
one.
Yeah, table this one.
And from the Education Programs and Resources Committee, we have the purchase of NWEA diagnostic assessments for grades 6 through 8 in the amount of 9,940, which is replacing the HMH growth measures.
What is that program? Because you're on the committee, right?
Yeah, it's just one of the methods that they use to like benchmark the kids.
Okay.
And it's just a new version that they're using, right?
Yeah, because I.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's not a
I missed that
benchmarking.
meeting, that's why.
It's a diagnostic
Diagnostic,
assessment,
Okay,
so it's a higher level and gives you more information than,
Have we used
basic
that?
benchmark.
Have you used it before?
yeah, and it's an incredibly effective
good
assessment,
program.
yes.
Yeah, we discussed it in detail on.
I said-
I thought it was
Yeah, I
benchmark,
must
it's the
be-
wrong word.
That's why I asked, yeah.
And many educators do, so please do not feel uncomfortable with that.
All right, let's move along. Okay, and we also have a motion to approve the laser engraver for Lehman's Tech Ed Department in the amount of 15,701.
You have one for Sal?
They already do, yeah, this is a
Yeah,
replacement of the
okay.
one they have at North
Okay.
or Lehman for their Tech Ed.
In fact, it's not a replacement,
It's a new addition.
there was not parity there.
Gotcha. Okay.
And Lehman did not have one, so this is now creating equity.
Gotcha.
Sorry, I don't mean to step on you.
No, I want clarification. Yeah, I thought they had one, but I think the high school had one
The high school has one, Lehman does not.
and they were sharing.
Correct.
Any questions in regards to that?
No.
Okay. and the purchase of open parachutes at the cost of $14,000 per pupil, which is also a new program that they're implementing as well.
Actually, I thought this was a replacement program.
It is. It's
It's
replacing,
replacing
ripple
effects. Yes.
Remember we did ripple effects? It was that little video that we used to do during COVID for mental health.
Session.
You are correct. That, if I can just chime in there. So the parachute, open parachute is the new program that's coming in to replace Ripple, that we attempted to pioneer and pilot probably about 2 years ago. This program here has strong reviews. Dr. Olszewski, she went through a whole process to expose staff in trial with students. So we got some really good return on it, and we're really excited about this program coming in.
So we're doing this replacing.
We're not renewing ripple effects and we're doing parachute instead.
That's correct.
Any questions?
No.
None.
Public participation?
Don't see any.
Larry?
Larry.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's make our recommendations. All right. Our first item. Back to my agenda. Is the E+ technologies for the projector at North High School.
So moved.
Favor?
Aye.
And then to participate in the fuel oil bids for the 2025-26 school year for propane and diesel fuel. Favor?
Aye.
Our next one is the mailers for the Burke One Homestead Farmstead Annual.
So moved.
Second.
To accept the credit from Sharp Energy in the amount of $219,618.
Was an aye.
We're going to accept the credit
Okay.
in the form of a check.
Yeah.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. To approve both, I'm gonna lump together both furniture items, the Lakeshore Furniture, the amount $219,618, I'm sorry, $20,302.71. And the Worthington Direct for $29,678.22. Both for special education furniture, classroom expansion and replacement.
Aye.
Right? And we're going to lump together the two items that St. Luke's are paying, the three items St. Luke's are paying for, the starting blocks and the washer and dryer for High School South and North.
Second.
Aye.
And then we have a motion for the removal of the relocatable building at Bush Hill.
Second.
Okay, and then we have the snow removal for the district by Corey Willis Trucking
So
with
moved.
the amendments that presented with.
Second.
And they'll get the.
And clarification of, yeah,
Yeah.
Make
and
it
we're
also-
removing, we're not doing the shoots, like.
Right.
And let's see, we're going to move forward the purchase of the NWEA diagnostic assessments for grades 6 through 8.
So moved.
And
Aye.
okay, the motion to approve the laser engraver for Lehman.
Aye.
And the motion to approve open parachute to replace ripple effects.
Second.
Did we do the washer drive?
I did, I lumped it up. Perfect, thank you. And our next meeting is Monday, November 11th at 5:30. Here and via Zoom. And do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All right, we are adjourned.